let's talk about the AFC South. The Texans are obviously the hot shit team coming into this year. Everybody's super duper high on them. I'm not among them. I don't have any hot takes about the Houston Texans. Did I bait you there for a quick second, Mike? It's
Yep.
just the rage that descended on his face, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also high on them. I think CJ Stroud is generationally good enough to avoid a sophomore slump. I am super, super high on their coaching staff, and just giving them more time and trust in another offseason with some very, very smart additions. You could essentially say in Texas, we have Stephon Diggs, and he's kind of our third wide receiver. So if he works out at like even close to the level that he reached in Buffalo, all upside, just all upside at this point. He can't bitch, moan, and complain because like he spent that already, like because then it's
Yep.
your problem, So I can already hear out of his camp, like he's with the program, like he's there, he's like, I'm gonna show everybody I'm still like at this level. He's saying all the right things, which doesn't always mean everything, but like whatever. I wrote down 12-5. I think I want to give him 13 wins. I think I want to give him 13 wins.
Okay. Well, I had him at 11-6. So let's just go with 12-5.
Walk me through your 11-6 logic.
Well, listen, I think
their defense is better and their offense is better and their quarterback is sick.
Yes, but I think that the Colts will be better this year, and I also think that the Jaguars are. I mean, I don't think that they're formidable at all, but it's a divisional opponent, and anything can happen. But mainly, it's just the Colts. I mean, if Anthony Richardson stays healthy, which I do think he has a pretty good chance of doing, they're gonna play them a little bit tougher. I just think 11-6 puts us in a great spot because I think the likelihood of them winning 12 games is great. I feel less great about 13. I would not want to. I can't sit here and say, because as it's currently constituted, we would think that they're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. And
yeah, I would not
everybody yet though.
I wouldn't honestly not be surprised to see the Texans in the Super Bowl this year. To be totally honest.
Do you think that they can win?
A lot of people's sexy pick for the Super Bowl.
You had them at 13-4, right?
Yeah, officially yes. I want to give them.
So you think they could win 14 games?
I'm picturing the Texans logo in my head and transporting myself into the future, and I can actually see 14. Like I can see it. Maybe it's a scoreboard. I don't know. I just see a little square. I mean, my powers of predicting the future are waning in my old age, but the number 14 is like it's visible there for me for the Texans.
Yeah.
It's achievable for the Texans, and what a great fucking fun season of football we'd all have if it happened. What great highlights we would have all watched of CJ Stroud just fucking balling out for all but 3 games, and even in those 3 games, probably still pretty decent. I mean. The up and down swing of the Houston Texans from Bobby's famed bookmark of them being up against the Chiefs in the divisional game, or was it the AFC Championship game? And come on,
I just want to say that 15 minutes ago, you could see the Pittsburgh Steelers winning 13 games.
Who was that guy? I would call that a brief bout.
So can we just say 12-5, please? Because they ain't winning 14. I will I'll even bet you on it right now that they're not going to win 14 games.
Okay.
If it makes you feel any better for losing.
Okay. Nope. 12-5 is fine. I think that's completely reasonable. And I mean, yeah, maybe I got carried away.
No.
I'm high on the Jags too. I have them at 11-6. What do you got?
I had them at 8-9.
You think they got worse?
I think that they're going to feel the loss of Calvin Ridley this year. Yeah.
You think they got worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, then it's.
But this is the Trevor Lawrence like make or break here, and like we're essentially saying, is it make?
And he got that huge contract. So
and they took a weapon away from him. Well, not took it, but they didn't.
They gave him Gabe Davis. I think he can do a lot with that.
You think so? You would equate Gabe Davis?
I don't think he's as good as Calvin Ridley. No, I don't. But I think overall they've improved.
Gabe Davis had one of the best postseason performances we've ever seen in this era.
Landing in the bottle.
That's saying he's better than Ridley, but no, his team lost. But I'm saying you speak about him as a talent. what we saw in the playoffs from him was one of the best performances we ever seen from any
I agree.
receiver. So yeah, once again, Trevor Lawrence not scrub. So I think that once again, I'm not saying he's going to get 80 catches for 1,000 yards, but can you get 60 for 800 and 5 touchdowns? That would be a heck of a season for him if that's the case. Coming out from what he came from. So
they also beefed up his line, which was desperately needed from last season. Like they signed Mitch Morris at center, who's like legit. They signed Ezra Cleveland at guard, I think is probably going to be pretty good, but he hasn't like played a ton of games. And they beefed up. I think Darnell Savage at safety is a good deal. So like, I don't know. I think every time like a Jags deal popped up in the offseason, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's all right. They got like a little bit better. Now, obviously losing Calvin Ridley fucking sucks, but I just think that Trevor Lawrence is legit. And I think that that's where this logic sort of hinges on.
Okay.
So
the name of the game, though, the name of the game though is, are you?
I agree.
Confident?
I can already see where you're about to take us, and I'll give you 9 and 8 on the Jags because I can see 10.
Right,
but it's fine. Yeah, I'll give you 9 and 8 on the Jags. Which means they keep
again, Mike the T-shirt that said "Go, Mr. Hedge."
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, honestly, but the logic is sound. Like the logic is sound. Like we're apart and we come together in the middle. I swear to God, we could do peace in the Middle East with this. Me and Mike. Just send me and Mike.
Not doing this.
No, just split right down the middle. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. Just sit in the room and we can talk it through.
We solve modern politics, everyone.
Modern fucking politics. Okay. You think the Colts are going to be better? You've already alluded to that. I also think the Colts are going to be better. I think they're going to be one game better.
So you have them at?
They were 9 and 8 last year. They're 10 and 7 this year.
I have them at 9 and 8 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's talk through it a little bit then. I think it's hinges on Richardson. I think this is his breakout year. I feel good about him.
And Jonathan Taylor.
I think that, obviously injuries have been a factor. I just want to see him play healthy. And I think I think they're due a little bit of injury luck in Indianapolis. Like overall, no pun intended, to be totally honest with you, overall over the last 15 years, they're due a little injury luck. So, I think that, again, I mean, not to just like nitpick and go through every single offseason move for all these teams, but like I just think that they've improved on both sides of the ball a little bit. And, I just the vibes are good. Does that make sense? Like the vibes are kind of good with the Colts, like with Richardson. I just like the vibes are coming off nice. I would love to pump them one game if you don't mind.
Let's go 10-7.
Because like 11 is a stretch, but like, well, actually 11 is a fucking stretch for them, isn't it?
It's a real big stretch, but if you want to pump it, let's pump it.
Because we agree that they could win 10 games if we make them 9 and 8. That essentially is the logic. We agree.
I
think 8 is a stretch though, but something could go wrong. Someone could get hurt. Okay,
cool. I think they have a higher probability to win 8 games than they do 11.
It's great. I mean, I love how your brain works. This is a great prediction. 9 and 8 is a great prediction. You gotta play. Perfect. You gotta play the game. You gotta play the game. Right. I think the Titans now. This might be
5 and 12. 5 and 12.
Oh, this is so good to see like this just unfold in person. This is great. I don't have to say another word the rest of the show. I'm good. I have nothing else to say. This is good. This is good.
I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I kind of think the Titans can win 3 games. And I could also see them winning 2 games.
Wow.
Okay, but you really think that they're going to win 4 games?
5 sounds right, though, now that you say 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm at 5 and 12.
4 is what I wrote down. I wrote down 4 and 13.
Yeah.
Wow. Love that. For those that can see it on.
Something always, so it's also like historically, something always happens in the AFC South to a quarterback in that division.
Oh God!
No, Mike, no,
you just cursed that old division. For the folks at home, Mike's standing over a cauldron right now, stirring newts into a witch's brew. Jesus.
Typically, it's the Colts quarterback, but listen, if 5 and 12 covers us.
Okay. You know what? I feel like I want to go with you on this division. You seem to have better instincts about this division than I do. I think 6 wins for the Titans would be a fucking miracle, but all right. All right. 5 and 12. We're good. Guys, what'd you think? Any big disagreements? I'll tell you what we did. 12 and 5, we settled on for the Texans. 9 and 8, we settled on for the Jags. 9 and 8, we settled on for the Colts, and 5 and 12, we settled on for the Tennessee Titans.
So, I mean, not much of a difference. Like for me, because like I said, I thought that we were doing this. So I had Houston 12 and 5. I had Jacksonville 9 and 8. I had the Colts 8 and 9. And then I had Tennessee at 7 and 10. And once again, I just think because once again, whether they're splitting wins in the division, they'll run their way to winning a couple of games they shouldn't have won, just like they did last year, right? Like, I mean, remember the Monday night game against Miami when they found a way to. So they'll win random games.
Is that the Vrabel Titans though?
That was the Vrabel
It's his
Titans.
roster still. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not him, he's not the head coach anymore, but that's his roster still. So,
but the Vrabel point is like what got me to where I was with the Titans. Like the idea of letting him walk. Like when a franchise does something like that, such an obviously stupid mistake, they always get punished in the NFL. The NFL is an extremely punishing fucking league for dumb ass moves, like letting Mike Vrabel, good head coach, walk out of your organization's front door when he didn't want to leave. And I think that like, you know, the fact that he didn't get a job, some people are pointing to, and I'm like, he'll be all right. Like, I promise you he'll be all right. Like, I would be very unsurprised to see him standing on a sideline this season, to be totally honest with you. So we'll see. But I just always think organizations that do stuff like that, and like also, you know, they were Derrick Henry. The Titans were Derrick Henry. Like, anytime the Titans put anything fucking meaningful on the board, it was because of that guy. Bobby's been banging that drum the loudest for the last 3 years. Like, he's been like, Derrick Henry's great. And then like he leaves, and I can see Bobby's facial expressions that he's lost interest in the Titans completely. Because they're fucking, they just don't have anybody anymore,
well,
you know?
And well, like, they got Tony Pollard. They got
my boy Pollard now. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins has been dropping a lot of fucking passes in the in training camp, dude. It has looked a little strange over there. I don't know. They had DeAndre Hopkins, and if they also have a time machine to take us to 2019, they're in great shape.
Who's that? Who's their quarterback over there?
It ain't
Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Oh, Will Levis from Kentucky. Okay, Mr. Mayonnaise, because he's all the man. That's the guy. Got it. Okay.
Now, he had a good year last year for being Will Levis.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't see that happening again. I think that was an offensive.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be at the top. I think they're going to be looking for a quarterback again next year too. I feel like they with them hitching their wagon to Tannehill a few years back, and once again he did okay. Got him into the playoffs. Whatever, they were very close a few times. As far as getting to the division round, I think they got to an AFC Championship game with him too, if I'm not mistaken, which is wild to even think about.
Yeah, they beat Baltimore that one year.
I know fans of Miami were like, where the fuck was this at? But yeah, I don't know. But like I said, 6 games, 7 games. Like I said, 7 games might be on the high end, but I think when you can run the football, they've always been able to do down there. That's just been a staple down there. They'll run their way into some wins
because they had Derrick Henry.
No, I'll say Tony Pollard's not the stuff. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like they'll still run their way into some games where you're like, oh, okay, like. They won it 20-17, something like that. That's how they're gonna have to win. They're not gonna win the shootout. It's not gonna happen. But
I've always liked the Titans as a franchise ever since the Eddie George, Air McNair.
Absolutely, Eddie George. Yep.
Era, to be honest, and I think their uniforms are pretty sick. Bobby, any major disagreements on our AFC South predictions here? Anything? Or were we too hard on anyone? Too easy on anyone?
No, I think you guys got it pretty good. I think the Colts are the one team that have the most upside out of all those teams that you guys read off. Besides the Texans, obviously.
Did you see 11 wins for the Colts?
I could see it. It depends on Anthony Richardson, man. I've been tooting Anthony Richardson's horn since he was at Florida.
Oh my God! Does he say thank you?
He does. He does.
Oh wow, lovely! What a courtesy,
bro. He's something.
I mean, go Gators. I gotta see it. I gotta see him healthy.
He's fun to watch, though.
His
general body positioning, just like how he carries himself, like what he's like one of those players that like appear across all sports that when they have the ball, you're like, I think something cool is about to happen. And I just love players like that. I just like watching them play. So I hope the upside is true.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan of the overall product, like obviously it does us a justice if they all stay healthy and they all produce to an extent, because
I'm cheering for him, honestly.
Yeah,
and the Jags a little bit too
every week. So yep.
The whole division, I like, to be honest. I just like the teams in the division.
The division's fun. This is a fun division to have. I had forgotten how it was to predict for this division, because everybody's good and the Titans are shitty, but we don't hate them. So it's okay, maybe they can win some games. That'll be fun. All right.